Hey everybody, it's Steve. I wanted to talk about Florida news. It's been a hell of a weekend, going through some articles and seeing the crazy shit that pops up. One of the latest stories is a couple of guys out of Claremont near Orlando um, were busted for posting a TikTok video of them performing a C-section on their bulldog. I believe it was the owner of the bulldog. His daughter had posted up the video thinking it was cool. There's like other teens in the house when this is going down. The guy that he hired to perform the C-section was not an actual veterinarian, although he was telling people he was. So yeah, there's that. And typical scam artists in Florida, you're riddled with scam artists. You know, that's just a thing. Everybody is something that they ain't. You know, and this dude, as you can see here, pictured on the right, looking like this is the first time he's seen the innards of a dog. Is the his name is Frankie Rivera, and yeah, he pretended to be a vet, offered to do a C-section to get these puppies out of the dog, out of that French bulldog. Ended up killing the dog. But in the process, in this bloodbath, there were people there in the house. You know, this is the owner, CeeLo Green wannabe looking dude, aided in the death of his own dog to get a bunch of puppies out. Now, it's obvious that this was a puppy mill thing going on where they were just selling these dogs because nobody wants a French bulldog, but the people that do want French bulldogs are paying a high dollar for them. You know, they're a profitable market, which is why this guy went to a bootleg veterinarian to have a C-section done. The only reason they got caught was because his stupid ass daughter posted a video on TikTok. If it wasn't for her, nobody would have known that this whole situation went down, like a lot of times they do. And there's illegal breeding rings all over Florida. New pit bulls, different weird bully breeds, these new mutant bulldogs that with the wide stance that just look like they're fucking retarded. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're split on that dog." When you see that dog, it looks like the thing from Ghostbusters 2, that weird devilish bulldog. It's got a crazy wide stance. There's nothing normal about that dog, and that dog doesn't breathe well. It can't run. It's obviously it's got some medical problems. But you hear people say, "Oh, that dog looks cool." No, it doesn't. That dog looks sick. That dog's got problems. It's gonna last you about a year before it fucking keels over. There's nothing cool about one of these wide stanced mutated dogs that you hear them breathing really hard because they can't keep themselves up. And you're like, "Oh, that's so badass." No, that's not. You ain't got to worry about that dog biting you. If you make a quick right, that shit'll snap its ass in half. Those dogs are terrible. They're fucking terrible. And these people performing C-sections on little French bulldogs in order to sell them at $2,000 and $3,000 a pop. People need to go to hell, man. That's just fucked up. You know, there are kennels full of pit bulls that have been abandoned by people. All kinds of dogs, not just pit bulls, German shepherds, all these apartment complexes. People can't afford to buy their own homes, so you take the housing crisis and you turn that into people who had a dog that now they can't move into their apartment with and downsize, or move to another place and downsizing in order to save money, because those are newly restricted breeds. Now, pit bulls are normally a restricted breed to begin with, but now they're starting to restrict all kinds of breeds. So if you go to any kennel, there's tons of breeds in there. I've seen people find French bulldogs in there for like $100. Just got to keep looking, but adopt the dog that's available to be adopted. And you don't have to watch these two assholes cut a dog in half to get some puppies out. Plain and simple. The only reason that these guys have a business model of chopping up these dogs in order to get yield as many living puppies as possible is because it's a for-profit business. This shit ain't got nothing to do with them loving French bulldogs. These are people making money on these puppies. That's it. And that's any fucking mill dog. Any mill. I don't care. French, American Bully, it doesn't matter. Whatever the breed is, if you're getting it out of some sort of mill, that dog is probably fucked up. There's some sort of health problem. There's some genetic, mutation, and that dog probably won't last you a long time. Take it from me, a guy who's watched a lot of friends pick up these dogs and be like, "Oh, isn't it the cutest? Check it out." It'll tear a tire in half, and a year later, that dog can't breathe. Don't do it. Don't do it. Save yourself the hassle and the humiliation of and the torture of letting these people continue to practice this shit. Because that guy and his friend and the daughter, whoever that hell got arrested in that house, that's just a small piece of the pie, man. There are tons, hundreds of these guys out there. You see them advertising on Craigslist and all this shit. And then when they finish with the dog after overbreeding and tearing these dogs up, the ones that do survive, all of a sudden they become free on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, I have a puppy here who's had a rough life and she just needs a good home. And get the fuck out of here. You overbred that dog. Now that dog is tore up, her nipples are dragging on the ground. She's got the signs of death. And now you want to get rid of her because you squeezed every bit of life out of her? I'm telling you, go on Facebook Marketplace right now and look for dogs that are up for adoption. And you will see a ton of dogs that have been bred to death. And those people giving them away are either directly involved or fucking linked to it, or received that dog and were lied to, and they were told that this dog was in a fight house. Oh, it was in a fight house. Now, a lot of times it's the person that's giving you the dog. It's the person saying, "Oh, she's a sweet pup. She just needs a nice place to live." That's because you got another dog you need to overbreed. It's a fucked up business model, and I hope that shit ends. Anyways, this rant is over. I hope these two assholes and anybody else involved gets the shit beat out of them. I don't think they should go to jail forever because it's a common business in the hood, but I think you should get your ass whipped. It's fucked up. You shouldn't do these things. Those puppies didn't ask for that. You know what I mean? That's not right. And the people that are buying these dogs, stop. What the hell is so cool about a French bulldog? Like, I'll never understand it. That dog is not cute. I mean, but that's a personal opinion. I know. And Steve, that dog I think is super cute. I don't give a shit. That dog is hideous. Fucking hideous. Might as well get a cat and then hit it in the head with a hammer. It's a terrible dog. But anyways, I'm done. Thanks for watching.